We have some breaking news in the NFL, Harrison Graham and Chase Sr., as there's been a 3-team blockbuster trade between the San Francisco 49ers, the Miami Dolphins, and the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm going to break this down as best as I can, and then Chase and I will give our thoughts on just what has taken place in the last 30 to 45 minutes or so. So you look at San Francisco. This is the big mover, Chase.
Yep.
They move up from number 12 to get the number 3 overall pick from the Miami Dolphins. They're eyeing quarterback. More thoughts on that in a minute. Miami, they get the number 6 overall pick, move down from 3 to 6, which was Philly's pick. So they sit at 6 overall, and remember, the Dolphins still have the number 18 overall pick in the first round as well. They also receive a 2021 fifth-round pick, a 2022 third-round pick, and a 2023 first-round pick. And then Philadelphia, they drop from 6 to 12, Chase, to get the number 12 overall pick, a 2021 fourth, and a 2022 first. Your instant reaction is what?
Shocking. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody could have forecasted a trade of this magnitude, especially when it included 3 teams, right? So, hey, the play for San Francisco, I think they move up to number 3, Harrison, knowing that they are comfortable with whichever quarterback falls to them and whichever quarterback they are most comfortable with throughout the evaluation process. So that's the San Francisco part. For the Miami Dolphins, they trade back. I think this takes them out of the quarterback equation. And I think that the Dolphins are moving forward with Tua Tagovailoa, knowing that the sample size for him last year was a little bit too small. They're also going to implement a newer system this year, which maybe brings the best out of him, and he's able to display what he did at the University of Alabama. Lastly, for the Philadelphia Eagles, they go back from 6 to 12. Harrison, I'm not sure about you, but for me, this tells me that the Eagles are moving forward with Jalen Hurts. They're comfortable with him as the starter for 2021, and they are going to use the small sample size from last year, as well as a full, possibly 17-game schedule this year, to evaluate their second-round pick from a year ago, see if he can be the long-term starter, and if not, they will draft or trade for a quarterback in the future.
Totally agree. We will expand on the thoughts for all 3 teams, the implications for the NFL draft as a whole. Just give us your one-word reaction. I mean, blockbuster, shocking. I think
Insanity.
we've used 10 or 12 words that are certainly acceptable for this trade. So let us know, what is your one-word reaction to this 3-team blockbuster? Blockbuster, that's the word for me. I think it's just absolutely bonkers at the end of the day.
Yeah, insanity, shocking, wow, just something that is just massive for each one of these franchises. Like, if they make the right choice through the draft, or if they fail in identifying the proper talent, one of these franchises could be sunk for a while.
And let's talk draft, right? Because obviously the draft orders change. Insert mock draft season. Every draft expert on the planet is going to release a new one, and hey, that includes us. So stay tuned on Chat Sports for that one. Draft order, top 5. Jags, no change. Jets, no change. 49ers, they move up to number 3 overall. You got Atlanta, who could be in the mix for a quarterback still, Chase. How does this impact them? Maybe they don't get their guy now. And then the Cincinnati Bengals at number 5 overall, I think it does help them. They don't need a quarterback, so they may have their choice of Penei Sewell or insert wide receiver.
Rashawn Slater or wide receiver.
Yeah, definitely an option. 6 through 10 here. Again, Miami goes down from 3 to 6. They also have number 18 overall, so a lot of draft capital for the Dolphins. No changes 7 through 10. Detroit, Carolina, Denver, and then the Dallas Cowboys rounding out the top 10 draft picks. 11 through 15, the Giants at 11. Philadelphia moves down to 12. Remember, kind of a combined 3-team trade where Philadelphia ends up with the 49ers pick at number 12. And then Chargers, Vikings, and Patriots round out your top 15. But that is the impact for the NFL draft after this blockbuster trade. Let's focus on the 49ers here after this 3-team blockbuster trade where they move up to number 3 overall. What position are the 49ers targeting at number 3, and why is it quarterback, Chase?
Well, Jimmy Garoppolo has been good when he's been on the field, right? But he's been hurt so often. Jimmy G is like 22-8 as a starter, but of the last 42 games, he's only been available for 25 of them, Harrison. So Jimmy G, when he's on the field, he's been a productive player. You go back to 2019, he was a big reason why San Francisco made it to the Super Bowl. And entering the fourth quarter against the Kansas City Chiefs, the 49ers were up 29-10 before collapsing in that final frame. And Jimmy G was a big reason for that because he played well in those first three quarters. Now, a lot of people might say, well, Jimmy G did miss Emmanuel Sanders on that deep ball late in the game. He was the reason why we lost. I'll blame it on the defense because the Chiefs were the team that came back in that game. So it's not like Jimmy G can't play. I think what San Francisco is thinking about here is the concerns with Jimmy G's health. And every time he's been on the field, they've been a winning franchise. But he hasn't been readily available often enough. And for Kyle Shanahan, he needs a consistent option at the quarterback position. Also, Harrison, can you imagine if Kyle Shanahan, throughout this draft process, falls in love with the quarterback? He's able to implement him into his system. And Kyle Shanahan, still a really young head coach, is able to groom, develop, and grow his franchise with the quarterback that he loves. That's a scary proposition and thought for the rest of the NFL, especially in the NFC West.
Yeah, we should mention that Adam Schefter did report that at this time there's no plans of cutting or trading Jimmy Garoppolo, but I will note that over a month away from the draft, I'd be pretty surprised if they don't start at least shopping him around. I still think there's some teams that could have some interest in Jimmy Garoppolo. The problem's going to be his $25 million cap hit for a team that trades for him, so maybe he would have to agree to a restructure or something like that. But we will see what's in his future. Maybe the 49ers view this as Jimmy G will start for one more season, and then we'll groom whoever we draft for 2022. The point is, though, if you're San Francisco, you don't move up like this unless you want a quarterback. You just don't do it because San Francisco says, hey, we've got a Super Bowl roster. We've got a Super Bowl coach. We've got an offensive mind that's as good as anybody. Problem is our quarterback can't stay healthy. So what are we going to do? We're going to go get one of these guys. That is the thought process here for the San Francisco 49ers. To your point, you're obviously not going to get Trevor Lawrence, but those next three names are the guys. Wilson, Fields, and Lance, and simple math tells you, Chase, that two of those three guys are 100% guaranteed to be available because Lawrence will go number one, so he'll be gone. Whatever happens with the Jets at 2, they'll probably take one of those other 3. That means the 49ers have their choice at one of the other 2.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence, a stone-cold lock to go number 1 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who knows what the New York Jets are going to do at number 2? Do they move forward with Sam Darnold? If so, that leaves the 49ers with an opportunity to draft their choice of Zach Wilson, of Justin Fields, of Trey Lance. Heck, Dan Orlovsky said, I think San Francisco moved up to possibly draft either Lance or Mac Jones. I don't think Mac Jones is the play here. I think it's going to be Zach Wilson. I think it's going to be Justin Fields or Trey Lance. So that's what I'm thinking.
So let's talk Wilson because obviously his pro day was today and the 49ers were in attendance. So, you know, does he become the guy here? I don't want to react and be like, oh, because he was at Wilson's pro day 2 hours ago, this is why they made the trade. Yeah. But I believe he was the final of these quarterbacks to have their pro day, unless Fields still needs his. I'm not sure. I know Mac Jones, Lawrence has already done his. Lance has as well. Yeah. So maybe they wanted to wait and watch all of their pro days and then say, okay, we're comfortable, we're trading up.
Yeah, so, Zach Wilson was working out at BYU today, and John Lynch, the general manager for the 49ers, was in attendance. And I want to caution everybody not to make too much of that, okay? When you're running a football team, it is your duty, it is your job to do homework on almost every single prospect in the NFL draft, especially at the quarterback position. I don't care if you're set at quarterback. You still have to do your homework and get some intel on what these prospects are all about.
So pick a prospect. So Wilson had his pro day today. Him, Fields, Trey Lance, they're kind of in that same grouping. I think if you ask 20 GMs, they would all rank them differently. Like, it's just that close after Trevor Lawrence. So let us know what you guys think. Type ZW for Zach Wilson. Type JF for Justin Fields. Type TL for Trey Lance. Go ahead and pick one for us. Who do you guys think will be the top prospect here? Now, 49ers fans, get subscribed to the 49ers Report if you're watching on Chat Sports. There's the link down below. It's youtube.com/49ers TV. If you're watching on our 49ers channel, just hit that big red button and subscribe. Chase Sr., Thomas Maude, occasionally myself, and Tom Downey, whoever it is, we're going to keep you guys updated on everything surrounding the San Francisco 49ers.